us during this digital panel talk. We at AutiRoze have created this program in collaboration with COC Amsterdam, the Amsterdam Museum, and the Shakespeare Club. And first of all, we will read a small article written by James Finn. Our Matthias will do this. He's the leader of this panel talk now. After that, we will have a discussion with the 4 panel members sitting right behind me, and they will discuss questions on the topic of dating and flirting in the new normality. And thank you so much for joining in, and I hope you all have a wonderful time.
Thanks, Julius. Okay, my name is Matthias. I'm the team leader of AutiRoze Amsterdam. And at first, I would really thank James Finn for giving us permission to read this column. James Finn is an autistic LGBTI activist. He was already active in, for example, ActUp in New York, in Queer Nation, and a lot of and he is an essayist. So he is really good at writing. So that's what I'm actually, gonna use. I'm gonna read something from him. It's a small column. COVID-19 has us queer folks locked down like everybody else. Even for those of us living in places that are opening back up, LGBTQ pride events are cancelled. Organizers can't take the risk of large events spreading a deadly virus. We remember the AIDS area too well to play games with public health. But pride is happening. Pride is inside of us. Pride is love, activism, history and more. Pride brings us together to share our joys and unite in our struggles. So a virus is stopping us from marching in the street. We'll Zoom, Facebook, Twitter and WhatsApp our way together. We'll tell our stories and fight our fights. Why? Because pride equals love. Don't know what I mean? This story is my pride offering to you. Pull up a chair and soak up some queer history and queer love. Once upon a time, I was an HIV activist. I say was because back in the day, I was the guy tapping out fiery words on a keyboard to inspire queer people in general and queer youth in particular. That's the sort of activism I do now. In the 90s, I was a street activist, a member of ActUpNY and Queer Nation. I regularly attended planned meetings, actions and zaps. I did even sexy street theater to educate people at risk for HIV. I remember ActUp so well from my first NYC Pride Parade. I'd only been living in Manhattan for a few weeks when they came marching down Fifth Avenue, faces red with fury and frustration, shouting out their defiance. I had only the vaguest idea who they are. It didn't take me long to join ActUp. By the fall, I was attending meetings every week, and soon I started marching in the streets with them. I've written a lot about my experiences with ActUp and with street activism in general. Today, I write about a different kind of activism, a different kind of pride. I want to talk about chosen families, love, nurturing, nursing, and feeding. I want to talk activism of the heart. I rarely write about my day job during my ActUp years, but the boys gotta eat, and street theater doesn't pay the bills. Not long after I joined, one of my ActUp buddies recommended me for a position at an HIV/AIDS service agency in Midtown Manhattan. I became the IT manager for a busy nonprofit that provided job training and placements for men and women living with HIV and AIDS. We had a staff of about 30, and we worked our asses off to better the lives of people who needed that help retaining dignity, self-respect and self-reliance, while coping with an illness that most considered life-ending. At least 20 of us had been recruited from ActUp or Gay Men Health Crisis. We were all young, college educated and middle class. I was one of the few staff members who wasn't a social worker or professional counselor or educator. Our clients were mostly not gay men. They were ordinary New Yorkers from north of 125th 5th Street, Harlem, or Spanish Harlem. Joanne was a grandmother in the 50s, a theoretical former heroin addict with one goal in life. She wanted her 12-year-old granddaughter to see her drug-free and working a decent job before she died. Joanne had been HIV positive for 6 years when she came to us. She assumed she had 4 or 5 years left at the most. Tony was a young Puerto Rican dude, handsome, brash, slick and funny. He was terrified of dying. Newly HIV positive, he was determined to stay off heroin and make something of his life. Unlike Joanne, he refused to believe that HIV was a death sentence. Within a few weeks of starting a program, studying for his GED and taking vocational training, he joined ACT UP, frequently marching at my side. He was in Washington Square Park with us the day I spit on a priest who was trying to shut down a safe sex step. Catholic and straight as hell as Tony was, he chased me down later, picked me up and spun me around in circles, kissing my cheeks and laughing at me. You're a motherfucking fool, man, you know that. You're a damn fool, but I love you. Anyway, love. Isn't that what activism is? The love that Joanne, Tony and I shared for each other, and for all the clients and staff at that agency, was so tangible we could taste it. We were united by a common enemy, a tiny virus that made us all brothers and sisters. Race, sexual orientation, gender, class, education, none of that mattered. We were devoted to one another because we were at war together. We put any differences aside as we joined hands. We helped each other up when we fell and went to each other's funerals when we died. When Joanne relapsed and started shooting up again, our executive director Barbara left the garden party at a summer house in East Hampton, drove to Harlem, tracked her down and brought her home with her until she could find a new spot in detox. That's activism. That's love. I'm sorry if that anecdote sounds a bit like a white rescue meme. It's a true story, though, and I intended to illustrate a point about what it means to truly love another person. Barbara shouldn't have gotten personally involved. What she did violated all sorts of professional best practices. We weren't professionals though, except by credential. We were in-your-face, loving activists. And I don't just mean the staff. All clients were all in too. We had a ridiculously high job placement rate, and most of that was due to our clients getting jobs and then going to better for us in the companies where they worked. Hire more of us. They'd encourage their bosses and HR people. You won't be sorry. And when one of the social workers or teachers succumbed to HIV and had to stop working or go for an extended hospital stay, it wasn't staff who were the bulk of their visitors. Clients and former clients held their hands, fed them, washed them, whatever it took. That level of care went both ways, of course. Love, activism. My activism extended to my personal life. My friend Howie volunteered for God's Love We Deliver, an agency that delivered hot food to people living with HIV who couldn't afford groceries or weren't strong enough to cook for themselves. He made his rounds 3 days a week, delivering smiles, jokes, hugs, and love, along with boxed meals. I went with him a few times, and he humbled me. I don't know how he did it, how he stayed so cheerful. Maybe knowing he'd been HIV positive himself for years changed him in some profound way I don't understand. Or maybe he had the soul of an angel instead of a human. Every summer, Howie and about 20 friends organized a party boat cruise around Manhattan to raise money for God's Love We Deliver. They hogged tickets in gay bars, bagged donations from merchants all over the city, worked their asses off for weeks on end, while their friends were lazing on sandy beaches. Then they threw a party that netted tens of thousands of dollars. That's activism. That's love. That's pride. Queer people today still have common enemies, even if the virus has faded into the background of our vigilance. Queer people today, especially transgender people, and most especially transgender people of color, face enormous obstacles. With the rise of Trump and his encouragement of evangelical Christians, we are more at risk of stigmatization and discrimination than at any time in recent history. HIV itself preys disproportionately on gay men of color and transgender women of color. Conservative religious forces in the country and all over the world, by the way, that's my addition, want to erase us and force us to stuff ourselves back into the closets. In 2017, violent attacks against LGBTQ people in the US reached levels not seen in decades. Over the course of the year, one queer person a week died from such attacks, according to the Crisis of Hate report, released by the National Coalition of Anti-Violence Programs. Violence rates continue to climb. It's time for some real activism, love, and pride on all of our parts. Whatever the differences in our various LGBTQ communities, we need to understand that when we are united by love and pride, we are fierce and strong. United, we present an invincible front to the forces who would stigmatize and shame us. Yes, we need to challenge ourselves and always strive to become better than we are. But if we allow our challenging thinking and conversing to descend into bickering and sniping, we all lose. Joanne, Tony, Barbara, and Howie are gone now, as are so many of the activists and lovers I once fought beside. But we can remember them still, and we can fight on and love on, building the world they wanted to live in, and that we want for the queer youth looking to us for leadership and inspiration. I hope that's something we all remember this August. It was this June, but this August. As you think about pride, it's happening. So, that's a good start, I hope. Thanks. So, let's start off with the actual panel discussion. So, let me please allow me to introduce everyone, starting with Pavel, or Pasha, excuse me. Yep. Just tell me something more about yourself, please.
Hello, everybody. I'm Pasha. I am a refugee from Russia, and I'm 39 years old. And what I can say also.
Thanks for being here. Okay, and we also have Vladimir.
Hello, my name is Vladimir Chorowitch. I am many years old, and I work for COC Amsterdam. I participate in the Cocktail Events project, and it's a project for LGBTI plus refugees. So this is how I know Pasha, who is not that long in the Netherlands, and by the way, his birthday was on 27th of July.
Okay, so let's sing a song for him. No, just an applause. Let's keep it that way. Due to corona measures, of course. No. Okay. Remon, there you go.
I'm Remon. I'm 27 years old. I'm a volunteer at AutiRoze from COC Amsterdam. It's with people with autism, and that's about it.
Thanks. And now it's up to you, Dirkjan.
Yes, I'm Dirkjan. I'm a volunteer for the Wereldcafe from COC Amsterdam, where we host events for refugees from different countries to provide a safe haven where they can be themselves. That's it.
Cool. So I would like to give you everyone here, both in the general public over here, and the panelists, and the live streamers, a warm welcome again. And let's start with the actual panel discussion. We've got one question already to spice it a bit up, because officially the official advice was, of course, during the lockdown in the Netherlands, not to have to have sex dates. But I already heard that a lot of people were maybe a bit naughty or something like that. So I've got one spicy question to spice it up, and I hope you're able to answer honestly, because just start from left to right. How many sex dates did you actually had during our intelligent lockdown?
I really stayed home, and maybe in the beginning, I didn't take it seriously, and I tried to date some guys, but in a few days I heard about so many deaths during Corona, and I have decided to stay in lockdown completely at home and didn't meet no one during this time. But it's about maybe 5-6 weeks, but after I tried to meet the guys, and maybe I have some dates but not many.
Cool. Thanks. Goodbye. Vladimir.
I'm trying.
Yeah,
How about you?
I got I got an hysterical attack at the beginning of Corona, like measurements. And my son put me in isolation at home, took away my dog, so he was taking care of the groceries. And for 2 months, I didn't have any contacts. And my internist, because my HIV doctor, not him, but the VPK, the nurse, they told me like, sex is also a part of your mental health, and your mental health is important so that your immune system is strong. So try to find a balance. But for 2 months, I didn't have sex. After 2 months, I couldn't live without sex anymore.
Very understandable. That's a good, that was actually a pretty good point, because I already said officially you were not allowed to have sex, but it's very good for your mental health. And yeah, it's a thing which a lot of human beings do, and a lot of human beings find connection in having sex, of course. So it's also a good thing to find a connection in any way in these difficult times, of course. Okay, so in order to not to steer this question anymore, it's up to you, Remon.
I've had a couple of dates, but in the beginning I quit dating when Corona broke out. And then after a while, I started seeing the people I see regularly. And yeah, but I still take it seriously, but still you need to be careful, but yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and you, Dirkjan?
Well, luckily enough, my date is always at home because I live together with my boyfriend.
Aww.
So it's a bit different, the situation. So sex-wise, we were less influenced by the coronavirus. So, yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh, I had such a bad streak of luck. I actually have one roommate, flatmate, sorry, who's gay and pretty interested in me, unfortunately. He already has a boyfriend. He had a boyfriend, and at that time it was still not an open relation. So close yet so far away.
So did you succeed?
I never tried. I was not really looking for drama, you know. So it's like maybe like okay, just one time sex,
Okay.
maybe, but maybe it could be more. And it's a bit like we live in the same apartment, so it's like.
So did he succeed?
No, he was really like. Yeah, I ignored him for quite a while actually. So he's not even trying anymore. I guess. I understand. It has to become from my part, I suppose.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions, guys, about each other's answers? Do you really want to know? Otherwise, I could maybe ask a question.
Not really.
Questions. How long did it take you to start dating from the beginning? Like 15th of March was the day, I guess, when all the restrictions were announced. How long did it take you guys before you started to date? Except you, because you date every day, I hope.
Okay. Pasha.
I'm already answered. I stayed at home about 5 or 6 weeks, and after, I tried to date some guys.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, like about 1 month.
In my case, it was 2 months, but then I got an invitation from a guy I've been chasing for like a while. And they said, I cannot let this chance go.
Yes, you're right.
So,
That's
but I
hard
had to
resist.
ask the permission of my son because he was doing groceries and taking care of me. And it's like, so when I called him, I said, okay, if you can date, then you can go to the shop.
Yeah, honestly, it took me like 6 weeks, I guess. But I hadn't had a lot of sex after that because of my thesis. I had a thesis to do, and it was pretty harsh. But I had some weird kind of luck in that way because I had something to do.
Yeah.
So I'm sort of happy about that, I guess. So I guess it's up to you to the next question. As we all know, there were a lot of events cancelled during our intelligence lockdown, with intelligence between scare quotes, by the way. And I want to ask you, did you guys ever feel lonely during the 2 months so of the lockdown? So let me start with Pasha again.
Not really, because I'm lucky. I stayed at home with my best friends, and we were together, and we communicated with Vlad as well. And I'm not feel alone during lockdown.
Cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was not alone, but lonely. Yes, I miss sex a lot.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, I was very lonely.
But it was just more about sex, where what you missed, or was just more, or was it like social context as well?
The
like
most
meeting
what
up
I
with people in
what I
general?
missed was a hug, because I couldn't hug my son for 2 months.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Just like a hug.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's very understandable. Remon.
Not really, because I had like my neighbors and friends around, and I wasn't that lonely at all. Yeah.
Dirkjan.
No, I wasn't really lonely. Maybe a bit bored because you couldn't do anything. So we couldn't go for drinks or for dinners so I was just stuck with my boyfriend for 24/7, which also is a challenge actually. But nice.
Yes.
But not
Corona-proof boyfriend.
It worked out well.
it worked out well. Yeah.
Cool.
So not lonely.
That's
Maybe
the-
a bit overstimulated even.
That's the ultimate relationship test.
Yes.
It really is. It
Yeah.
really is.
Oh, you're lucky boy. I'm still looking for love.
You're not alone.
I know. It's Amsterdam. So many guys. Could always switch to one another. How true that is. Just maybe another question, because we are a lot of people already speaking about the pre and post Corona. We are still in the pandemic, but let's call it the period before and after the lockdown. And I guess quite a lot of things might have been changed. Maybe not, but it's actually the question. To start again with Pasha, did anything change for you after this lockdown compared to before the lockdown?
Life is changed for everyone, I think. It's a little bit difficult time, but I have special things in my life, and every time changing because I'm still in process in my life, and as a refugee, and I moved now to another one city, and something changing. But if we speak about the dates, and no, I think it's now like before.
Okay, cool. Vladimir.
Yes, I would say we had to disconnect in order to connect again. So this is how I see this Corona. So that for me it was time of rethinking, of thinking it over, to disconnect and then to learn how to connect again, but another way. And I value my friends, my contacts, more now. And some things that I was like could explode about something, now I don't give a shit, because they're not important compared to what I went through during the Corona. So I connected again, but say quality connection.
Oh, that's nice. That's a good way to spend the lockdown, I guess. Remon.
Yeah, like Vladimir said, I connected more with people, and I think it was pity that the Pride was cancelled and milkshake and that kind of stuff, and that's about it. Yeah.
Okay, Dirkjan.
I think you connect with friends a bit more, even though you didn't see them. I had more contact with my friends than before Corona, because you talk to them and you call them and you WhatsApp them. So that changed a bit, I guess. And I enjoy little things of life, like even going to a supermarket was different because you had to be in line and it was very annoying. So then I enjoyed like going to a supermarket quite normally again. For me, that's important.
Cool, because just to add my 2 cents, at first I didn't even I didn't want to believe that everything got closed down, like the pubs, the gyms, my university. I study. I still study. Oof. But enough about that. That last thing. I was like, I was overly optimistic. I was like, okay, this lockdown will be over soon. And when it started in April, and the Prime Minister was every time holding his press conference and and extending the lockdown measures, I was like, oh damn! Now I really have to invest in other ways to to connect with people. And at first I was really enthusiastic about trying new stuff like Zoom and Google Meet and WhatsApp and borrels via Discord and stuff like that, and having meetings, and I tried a lot of stuff in that way. But after that I got a little bit bored about it. But it's still the case that we have to meet up sometimes online in quite a lot of times. Even where at first I guess a lot of people with us would instead opt for offline meetings. So my question to you guys is, how did you actually experience that transition from offline to online? Did you really think like, oh no, I really hate meeting up online? Or did you think like, okay, that would be like maybe better in some way? Pasha?
Yeah, but online meeting is something new for me, for example, in my life. It's kind of interesting thing. Why not?
Okay. But did you enjoy it more or less, or was there something different?
It's something different. Of course, it's not like in real life, but yeah, I'm not against it.
Okay, cool. Vladimir?
I did a lot of meetings online. First of all, we, as a team, cocktail events, we were seeing each other online. Then we organized online events for our guys, for the refugees, and it was dancing, it was a music quiz, and then I was giving courses of Dutch online too. So I did a lot of things online, and it is different. And actually, it has its advantages, because I only had to be close nicely here, and over there I could be sitting in my pajama.
Yeah.
And it was nice so that you cannot see each other in real life, and if you see each other, it's still the bloody distance. But it was nice to see and to have fun together online. So it is a new reality to me, and I like it, even though I still prefer live.
Okay, because that would be my question in general. Well, because I heard some people who said like, okay, I really like it, just mainly because we have to deal with it right now, and sometimes when I ask people like, okay, if everything could be reverted, if we just have like this pre-corona times, and would you still opt for it? And it would be like, in my case, for example, sometimes yes and sometimes no. I mean, I really like, for example, the fact that a lot of seminars and lectures at my university get recorded right now, even while we actually, we actually really talked about for years about recording them, and a lot of teachers were always like, no. A lot of professors were always like, no, we don't do that. Okay, we'll see. And it actually works pretty well. So I hope that will stay, for example. That's a pretty practical thing. So just as an example. Remon, how about you?
Yeah, I think it's less personal, but also, like, the good thing about it, you don't have to go out of your house, and you can just chill and do your meeting at home, and that's good about it, but it's also like less personal.
Yeah, understandable, I suppose. Yes. Okay, Dirkjan.
My life changed a lot because I'm a teacher, so I had to teach online. And for the first 2 weeks, that was exciting and new. But after 2 weeks, I got bored, and the kids got bored because you're looking at a screen with like 30 little faces. And we had to do that for, I think, 2.5 months. So I really didn't like my job anymore because it's not what I want to do, like see the kids and teach them stuff. So that was really challenging. So I'm happy that's done. and we can hopefully start teaching back in September in a normal way.
Okay.
But yeah, it was challenging.
Okay, it's about high school students.
Yeah. Well, between the age of 10 and 18.
Oh, okay. So it could be like sometimes maybe you might already be able to meet them in person or not.
Yeah, the last few weeks, the little kids could come to school
Yes.
until the age of 11, I think.
Yes.
But it was also complicated because then you had half classes at home and half the class was at school, so it was all it was a mess. So
I heard something about it.
yeah,
Like
so it was quite challenging in that way. To
yeah, I really hope for good figures in order to
I hope so too.
get back to not the new normal, but sometimes maybe the normal
Mhm.
in some cases even.
Indeed.
I've got one question. We already like when the Pride Week in Amsterdam started like last Saturday, so that actually means we're like in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days into the Pride Week, and I mean a lot of big events got cancelled. A lot of clubs are closed. The cafes are like have limited seating, but there are still a few events, and there are a lot of initiatives online or at your home to in order to show the diversity of the LGBTI community. And my question is, how did you experience this Pride Week? Did you do did you do anything special in the Pride Week, except for being here, of course?
Yeah, I was a part of Limburg Pride in Remon.
Cool.
Yeah, and I think I will go to Zero Flag walking in Amsterdam.
Nice.
It will be nice. It's a very good experience for me. Yeah.
Cool. That's a good thing to hear. And how did you experience all these things so far? We were.
No, I never
Really
been on meeting like this before, and for me it's a very good experience. in you.
Cool, but more in general, like for example, the Limburg Pride. Did you like the fact that it's online?
No, it was not online. It was offline. Yeah, but we stayed 1.5 meters from each other, and it was a small walk, about maybe 30 minutes, and yep.
And you liked it?
Yeah, I very liked it.
It's your first Pride.
It was my first Pride
Wow.
in real life.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Welcome. Good to hear. Vladimir.
Normally I participate in many events, and it's all live. But this year I really missed the Pride Walk because it's a very important. I am originally Russian, so that Pride Walk, this protest march, is very important to me. Also because of how it's going on now in Russia, and so I miss that. I miss the Canal Parade, but that's because I'm normally also on the boat. But okay, that's life. We organized. I've been to Nikki Today talk show the day on Tuesday. Was invited. It was an honor to me to tell about my work at COC Amsterdam, and Pasha is a decent guy. He will be one of the flag carriers during the Zero Flag ceremony on the 1st of September on Saturday. And on the 2nd of August on Sunday, we Cocktail Events were organized to fight the All Flags tour for our group, for the refugees. So I bought something like 45 tickets. So we expect a big crowd. And we will be walking in groups because we have 5 members of the project. So every member will have a small group so that we could keep the distance better.
Okay, cool. Are there like people from all of cocktails of all of the Netherlands? Because for example, Cocktail is in Utrecht. Cocktail is in
no, it's not Cocktail Utrecht. It's Cocktail Amsterdam.
Only Amsterdam.
And Cocktail Amsterdam is the project, and we invite the guys. The guys are refugees.
Okay.
Or status holders or undocumented people. So, and they come from Hoogeveen, Echt, Maastricht, Paalbeek. Sometimes I don't even know the train station.
Yeah, I understand, of course. I mean, I'm pretty happy to hear that they will all want to go to Amsterdam.
Yes.
I would really wish that there would be like something like them in their respective places as well. But yeah, I'm born and raised in Amsterdam, so I'm a bit proud about some.
Yeah,
the
there are
fact that
local
there's a lot of
prides. I like
LGBT
that.
stuff happening in Amsterdam.
Yeah, I like the local prides. I like the idea that there are many more local prides. But I live in Amsterdam for 25 years. It's my city, and I'm very proud of Amsterdam. And this is that's what we said like this weekend, because the guys could come here for a couple of days and say, we offer you a weekend in Amsterdam, your own pride in Amsterdam. I like this idea.
Okay, nice. That's a really good thing to hear. Remon, how about you?
I've liked the Pride so far. I've been the past Friday. I've been to a party in the southeast. It was called Love Doesn't Know Color, and it was fun. We danced a bit and drank, and the past Saturday I went to a Black Trans Lives Matter protest at Museum Square, and it was also pretty amazing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So you really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
That's a good thing to hear. Dirkjan, how about you?
I haven't done much so far. This is my first Pride experience for this year, but I really miss the parties and all the events that normally are during Pride in Amsterdam. But I'm happy we still were able to organize some stuff, like events like this. I think it's very important that we still show that Pride is still here, and we still organize some events for our community. So I'm very proud and happy that we still do something, but I really miss like the Pride that we normally have and do. But next year hopefully we'll back and bigger than ever.
Yes, definitely. I mean, if it will be up to me, yes. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Okay. And just a short intermezzo. Hisham, did you already got any questions from the live streamers?
No.
Because I have my lieftallige assistente, my very cute assistant. His name is Freek. He is also he's also in the board member of COC Amsterdam and works with AutiRoze quite a lot. And just you could always send an SMS or app on this number, which you just showed, if you have any questions to ask on this very diverse panel, and because I'm pretty sure they are eager to answer them. But in the meantime, I have another question, and it's like the question is, what did you actually learn during this corona or lockdown periods? How did it actually? Yeah, we had this question in another way as well, but yeah, how did it actually shape you as a person? Did it change you?
Let me answer first. Pasha asks me.
Okay. Okay, in that case, we just start off with Vladimir.
What I have learned, once again, I learned to value my friends, people who are around me more, and I learned to distinguish acquaintances and friends, and I learned to value life in common, and also to just that human touch and hug and social contact, because we're social creatures, and I stayed alone at home and I was getting completely mad, so I learned to value a hug.
Nice. So yeah, I could say you it's a bit of cliche, but you learn to value the little things in life.
Yes, and little things they make it actually.
Yes, yeah, and I concur. Yes, definitely. Dirkjan, how about you?
I think I've learned most that peace is important. And peace in the sense that you have to calm down sometimes and take a step back. That's very important, and I also learned that I'm very blessed that I live in this country, because even during lockdown I was in my own very comfortable apartment with enough food, with a shower, a bed, so everything was basically cool. So lockdown wasn't that much of a punishment, and I saw like little images from around the world where people like with 8 people in a very small apartment with no electricity and no food. So I just realized I'm very blessed. I'm very happy to live here, and
Yes.
I think that's very important.
Yes. That's yeah. That's okay. Good. Yeah. Thanks for your answer. Remon.
I learned how to be more careful. Like, I kept washing my hands more and more to be more careful, and yeah, and keep my distance, wearing a cap or what for your mouth, face mask,
Yep.
yes, and yeah, just learn. I learned how to be more careful.
Cool. Thanks. Pasha.
I have to think about it, but I have to say I learned to be more responsible for others. People, how I say in the beginning, I didn't take it really serious, but after, yeah, I understand that more older people, more influent about Corona, and I have to stay at home just for them as well. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thanks. For me, I actually learned, to work more hard on my study. To study harder because I didn't have anything to do, and I found out that's a good thing to do as well sometimes. It's very nerdy, I know, but hey, sometimes I really have to finish my bachelor degree. Anyway, anyhow, and moreover, I learned to, I for example cycled a lot. Through the country. So I went on my bike quite a while, and I found out how beautiful, the countryside is. For example, I discovered quite a lot of things more in my vicinity. I traveled a lot. I just came from an Erasmus exchange from Madrid in the first semester of last academic year. So it was really like, I discovered a lot of new small things, and indeed I learned to, to appreciate the little things in life. And I started to speak to a lot of friends I didn't speak to before. A lot of students. Sometimes I had just had a lot of talks with students about just their personal life instead of just a small short talk about their about studying. And so I learned. I guess I forged a few deeper connections with people. Just I met less people, but I met them. Better, I guess. And I've got one question in general for you guys. Is there really? I mean, you got to know each other a little bit right now. Is there really something you want to know about one another? So just raise your hand.
Yeah.
Right now, no.
Okay.
So, if I may say something,
Of course.
it's nice to hear different stories and to recognize yourself in each story. So that's what I think unite me with you guys. And for instance, like you especially the giving a lesson on Zoom, it's not nice. I can tell you it's not nice. I agree. And also that I recognize a lot in what the guys are saying. So
Okay.
I'm not alone.
Okay. I've got another question. I just made it up, so I hope it works. Did you guys learn any new skills during the lockdown? Because maybe you are focusing on other stuff than you normally do. Let's start off with Remon.
I'm working on my Spanish. I learned
Hola.
a little bit of a poco Spanish, and that's
Oh,
about it.
Muy bien, guapo.
Yeah.
Okay, vale. Entonces, el siguiente. No, the next one. Dirkjan, how about you?
I've read a lot about food, nutrition, and cooking. So I tried like little recipes and go a bit towards veganism,
Cool.
which was quite a challenge. But because I had more time, I could cook different dishes. So that was kind of cool.
Hashtag go vegan.
Yeah.
I'm vegan by myself, so I'm a bit of a propagandist in a way. How about you, Pasha?
Yeah, I'm upgrade a little bit my interior design skills because we all have a lot of time to stay at home. Yeah.
Okay. Vladimir.
I'm a vegan-friendly carnivore. I learned Zoom, and I learned what Dirkjan, you're saying, that giving a lesson on Zoom, I had 3 courses, and then you can follow them, but if you have those 20 dots, it's terrible. It has nothing to do with a real lesson. So I learned some software, and I learned to value the real-life contact, not the online contact.
Yes. Thanks. Are there any questions from the public on location? Just raise your hands. There's one incoming question. Okay, there's one question from Freek Broekman. I have no clue who that guy is. No, just kidding. He's the board member and our sweet assistant. Okay, I will. Yeah. Let's start with it. Then I've got one question. Do you think that the world has changed in a structural way? Let's start with Vladimir, because I already see him nodding.
I do think so, yeah. We changed. This bloody corona changed our lives. And life will never be the same. And in my case, my life will be better because I think I was living my life like a routine, like decadent way. Everything comes, and then with Corona, I started to value like the basics of life: friendship, love, family, friends, work. Yes, I think it anyhow this time made me a better person. I hope.
Cool. Live, laugh, love. How about you, Remon? Did you think the world has changed structurally after Corona?
Yeah, it changed because of the lockdown, and a lot of things changed, like the rules and that kind of stuff. Like people have to
Keep the distance.
yeah, have to keep their distance and that kind of stuff. And yeah, a lot has changed.
Okay, cool. And could you elaborate on that? So like a lot has changed. What did, for example, change when in your opinion, when people had to keep more distance?
Like no dates. No dates. Like traveling with a mouth cap.
Yes.
And yeah, like people got more scared and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yes, I understand it in a way. I guess people are quite scared, and sometimes, honestly, I'm more scared about lockdowns who get imposed than about the virus itself. But that's maybe because I'm young and I don't have to, and I'm not really susceptible. I mean, not that susceptible for the coronavirus. I could of course, still spread it. So just keep your distance and follow the rules. But that's a bit preachy. But still, I still have to say that, of course. Dirkjan, do you really think the world has changed in a structural way?
I don't think the world has changed yet. But I think the virus made a lot of things visible, like certain types of inequality, the way we travel around the world. So a lot of people are questioning that stuff now. So maybe they will change, but I'm afraid that once this all is over, we get back to how it was very soon. Because you already see the planes started flying, and I don't know. Maybe we'll see. But
so you really think the new normal will turn into a normal quite soon?
Yeah, and I guess in a way I hope it will turn back to normal.
Yeah, but
but maybe a bit more
Mhm.
sustainable.
yeah, I really hope that.
Sustainable.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
You
really
don't
hope
have
that.
to travel 7 times a year.
exactly.
Yeah, I really hope people would, watch a little bit more. Take a little bit more care of our environment. So yes, you're pretty right about that, in my opinion. But forget about my opinion. Pavel.
Yeah, I don't think so. World has changed, but many things change in people's minds, I think, and people start behave in a little bit different way.
Okay.
I think it's good. It's something changed to better way, I think, during this time.
Okay, but do you really think like something changed for the better in terms of, for example, that people like
I don't
travel
know,
less?
People start caring to each other more, I think. Yeah, but bad side, yeah, less traveling and some things we do less than before.
Okay.
Both
Yes.
sides,
Yeah,
and good things
and-
and bad things.
Yeah, and I hope people would start care more about our environment, because we destroy our house, actually. That's how
Yeah.
I say it.
I've got one advice to you all. Okay, but I've got to just to go to one another question. For me, it's a pretty personal question, because I'm always like I'm a bit doubting whether I should do that with people or not, with this kind of people, and if so, with which kind of people? And it's like, are you already hugging some people, and if so, who? Let's start with Remon.
I'm hugging my mother.
Aww.
That's about
Aw.
I hug her the most.
Of course, same with me. I mean, couldn't like, it's your mother, you know. You couldn't like no. I mean, it wouldn't do for me. I mean, it's all up to you. Dirkjan.
Yeah, I've never stopped hugging my family. I always hug them during this whole crisis. I stopped hugging my friends. Weirdly enough, I don't know why, but we just like, no, we don't hug. And then after we have dinner together, we're so close. I don't know. It's a bit of shame, because I really like hugging, and I think it creates a connection even before you start talking. But yeah, I don't hug my friends anymore, which is a shame.
Oh,
So I hope it comes back, but
I guess not per se. I mean, it's really like, I guess it really depends on how your friends are actually like thinking of the impact of the coronavirus, and whether they are, of course, at risk or not. So it shouldn't be a shame. No, I guess it isn't. But I understand. But somehow I understand what you mean, because, for example, I two friends who really like to hug, and I hug them, but a lot of friends are not that kind of huggish. So I'm like, okay, and my mother. So that's, for me, it's pretty much it. How about you, Pasha? I got your name right.
I do hugs, but to very close friends, and one guy I meet, I date him, yeah, but not so many people. Maybe shaking hands, yeah, I'm starting to do it.
Okay. You're already shaking hands, or you just stopped shaking hands? Did you stop shaking hands, or you're already shaking
Before,
hands?
yeah, I didn't, but now I start to do it.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Thanks. Thanks for your answer. How about you, Vladimir?
Yeah, the first one I hugged was my son, of course. And then I hugged my son, of course, and my close friends. And I do not really shake hands, but I never really liked doing that before. And so I'm kind of glad with this procedure, because I can choose whom I want to shake hand and whom not. And I really miss 3 kisses, because this is gone now.
Yes.
And I hug with my dates, not only hug.
Yes.
But
yes.
then it's a kind of also procedure
Okay.
that you ask questions. Do you have any symptoms and all that shit?
Yeah, of course. You're doing the corona checklist with every of your dates.
No, I
Do you
don't do
do-
no.
the-
But we just ask,
are you coughing? Do you have do you have,
No,
you
no,
have
not
a
the whole
room,
checklist.
a flatmate?
do you have any symptoms? No, want to fuck. I don't have symptoms.
Okay. Yeah, we were talking about hugging, not about fucking, but
Dating.
that would be like, okay, dating might or might not be fucking. It depends how traditional or like you are. I don't judge. I've got. We're all like 5. Yeah, we're like 5 minutes. 5 minutes left. Are there any more questions from the general public? Hey, Irina. Okay. Just state it to me.
Did any of you meet new people, and if so, how?
During the lockdown?
Yeah.
Did any of you guys did any of you guys meet new people, and if during the lockdown, and if so, how? How about you, Pasha?
During lockdown, yes, I met one guy. I met him in a grinder, but we met just for a walk, and we keep distance 1.5 meters. It was fun, but yeah, I did it.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So
Once.
I'm just talking about meeting new people in general. Vladimir, how about you?
I met some new people, but those were dates.
Okay. Okay. Of course, you met new people in that way as well.
Yes.
Okay.
They were new to me.
Yeah, they are definitely new. Remon.
Some people we have a second date and a third date, and some it's just a one night stand.
Okay. Thanks. Remon, how about you?
I met new people due to Grindr.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, we already spoke about that. You slut.
Yeah.
You're just jealous.
I'm not. I'm definitely jealous. I'm not slut shaming. Oh, I hate my faces. Damn.
Don't forget Romeo.
Yes. I met one guy 1 week ago. Actually, it was not good. Not good. Okay, Dirkjan.
No, I didn't meet anyone new. I just kept my circle very small.
Okay.
But you're settled.
I'm settled, yeah.
Yeah. But more like in general, like old friends or like.
No, not even in general. I didn't meet any new people during the lockdown.
Okay. Thanks. I've got one quick question. Who wants to tell it? What was the first thing you did when when, for example, in the 1st of June there were like a lot of relaxation of rules? Pavel.
I don't remember really.
You don't remember? Vladimir.
Nothing changed in my life. I just took it as a notice, and that's it. But I haven't. There was no party or something. I was glad to hear that, but I haven't done anything.
Cool. Remon.
For me as well, nothing much changed. Yeah.
Okay. Dirkjan.
The first thing I did is I went to a bar and I had a beer outside in the sun.
That would definitely be the same for me, I guess. And already people there are like 2 minutes left, so maybe it's time for one question for the general public. Do you really have some questions you want to ask to one another?
Maybe the panel wants to ask the public something.
Yeah. And does the panel want to ask the public something?
Not really.
What have you done in this time?
Yeah.
Have you dated?
Okay.
Have you had a date or something?
Is there any panelist who wants to answer this question? Did you date during the lockdown?
No, the public.
The public. One public.
Yes.
Okay.
Shall I answer the question?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did
of course.
I date? I did once. That's it.
Was it
once
nice?
Once with the same guy, but it was just a normal date, walking through the park. And I dated with friends, also with 1.5 meters. So there's also a date.
Yes.
And I dated with my mom. That's also
No,
important.
it's not a date.
well, it's a date. Sometimes I take her for a date.
Okay. So thanks, Hisham, for this new way of thinking. I really could appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and I wish you have a great day. I hope you're able to go to one of the meetings AutiRoze is organizing. Go to autiroze.nl if you want to meet up with us. There's a calendar, and we're gonna do a lot of things on the 1st of August. That's Saturday. So like we have a picnic. We go to the Pride Protest March. Everyone should be there 11 until 2 at the Museumplein. And we have a ball. So just visit our website. It's AutiRoze.nl. And enjoy your day. Just go to the Shakespeare Club and visit a lot of events because it's really, really fun. And I want to thank both my volunteers and the volunteers of the Shakespeare Club, and of course the technical crew for hosting us and making this a great event. Thanks.